Hey everyone, and welcome to Would You Believe?
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 We are going to tell you some unbelievable stories and trivia, and it's your job to tell us what you believe to be true.
You can do it!
So grab a pen and paper or open a WordPad to play along. We will give you an opportunity to post all of your answers in the comments below before we reveal the answers at the end. So without further ado, let's get started.
Time to nut up or shut up.
Number 1. I'm going to tell you two crazy stories. One of them is true, and one of them is completely made up. A tape company created an uninvisible wall. In 1980, David Swenson of the company described a quite unusual anomaly. An area of their factory was designated to splitting polypropylene film from 50-foot rolls to smaller spools. The whole project created a cubicle tent in the factory. On this particular muggy day, David entered the factory floor and his handheld electrometer was reading off the charts. He attempted to enter the tent area, but was stopped by an invisible wall. He could lean forward with all of his weight, but was unable to pass. He observed a fly get sucked in by this field and speculated that it may be strong enough to suck in birds. Or, in 1996, 24-year-old Maureen Salk survived a bus accident with only minor injuries. Due to her hitting her head, she was rushed to an emergency room to undergo an MRI scan. A normal MRI scan creates a magnetic field at around 0.2 to 0.3 newtons, but due to a panel being left off during maintenance, she was exposed to nearly 5 times that. No one noticed anything went wrong until later that day when Salk noticed that many metallic things she touched were sticky. When getting near her television set, it would cause the screen to distort. Number 2. Now let us know what piece of television trivia is true. Philip J. Fry of Futurama was named after late actor Phil Hartman. Hartman had lent his vocal talents to Matt Groening's other hit show, The Simpsons, and was supposed to play the voice of Zap Brannigan on Futurama. You can even hear how voice actor Billy West portrays the character as an impression of Phil Hartman.
She's built like a steakhouse, but she handles like a bistro. She's out of control!
But deadly. And here comes the metric system. Mothballing your battleship. And dig your own grave and save.
Or, Curb Your Enthusiasm cleared a man of murder charges. Juan Catalan was charged with the murder of 16-year-old Martha Puebla in 2003. Juan had spent 5 months in prison before being cleared when footage from the HBO comedy Curb Your Enthusiasm showed him in the background of a real Dodgers game, proving his alibi. Number 3. Now, which of these facts about buildings are correct? There are warehouses so large that they have their own weather, or the White House was originally gray until it was partially burnt down during the War of 1812. Number 4. Which of these facts about nature are true? Every day, 127,000 trees are chopped down specifically for making toilet paper, or sharks are immune to cancer. Number 5. Now, we're going to give you 4 words. Which of these words are real and which ones are made up? Funner. Irregardless. Conversate. Ginormous. Number 6. How about these history facts? One is true and one is fake. Which is which? The Viking helmet was a sign of the strength of the wearer. They would constantly change out the horns attached to them with bigger ones from their hunts. Bigger horns on a helmet were a sign of a skilled hunter and a strong warrior. Or, when we think of Cleopatra, most of us picture her floating down the Nile on a barge being fed grapes while the pyramids are being built in the background. But would you believe that Cleopatra actually lived closer to the time of the moon landing than she did to the building of the Great Pyramid? Number 7. Now, which of these pieces of trivia about the Magical Kingdom are true? Selfie sticks are banned from all Disney theme parks? Or, if you yell, "Andy is coming!" at any Toy Story cast, they will have to drop to the ground and pretend to be inanimate. Number 8. Now, which of these facts about Mount Everest do you believe? It's the tallest mountain on Earth, or it is littered with dead bodies? Number 9. Which of the following facts are true? Glass is a slow-moving liquid. If you look at old pane windows, you will notice a wavy pattern in them, and that the glass is thicker on the bottom than at the top. This is due to glass slowly shifting place over time. Or, after his death, Albert Einstein's brain was stolen. Number 10. Now tell us which of these facts about the human body is true and which one is fake. Humans have 5 senses. Or, you replace every particle in your body every 7 years. So what do you think? Which ones are true and which ones are complete BS?
Do you want to know?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Now pause the video and post in the comments what you think before we reveal the answers. Alright, let's see how you did. Number 1. Now which one did you believe? The tape company in a sticky situation? Or the young woman with the magnetic personality? The truth is, the 3M tape company created an invisible wall. Even management in the company didn't believe the claims until it was reproduced for them the next day. It's speculated that the film was emitting a large amount of ionized air, with polarity opposite of the charge of the moving plastic. That ionized air could have been held into place by the static field in the room, causing the invisible wall. Swinson was quoted saying that he didn't know if he should fix it or sell tickets.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Number 2. Now what about our piece of television trivia? Did Curb Your Enthusiasm save someone from a lengthy prison sentence? Or was a slow-witted cartoon character named tribute to a late comedic actor? The truth is, Futurama fans know that Fry is named after the former SNL actor. But they know wrong. This is a common misconception that can be attributed to voice actor Billy West stating it as fact during an interview. But in 2013, Matt Groening clarified that he was another character named after his father, Homer Philip Groening. So that means Curb Your Enthusiasm actually did help get someone off of murder charges. In 2007, Juan Catalan was even awarded $320,000 by the LA City Council in a lawsuit. Number 3. Did you believe that the British kept us from having a Capitol building called the Grey House? Or can it rain inside of a building? Though the Capitol building was attacked, and part of it was burnt down in 1814 by British soldiers. This causing it to be repainted is a myth, and has been passed down as fact. It had its iconic white color since the end of the 1700s, and was known as the White House by the British in as early as 1811. That means that there are warehouses so big that they have their own weather. NASA's Vehicle Assembly Building is one of those. At 129,428,000 cubic feet, it is one of the largest buildings in the world, and on a humid day, rain clouds will form under the ceiling, requiring 10,000 tons of air conditioning equipment to control the moisture. Number 4. Now, did you believe that sharks are immune to cancer? Or that trees are being wiped out so people can wipe their... well, you get the idea. We have all heard that sharks can't get cancer, but this is only a half-truth.
Ironically, this is not far from the truth.
Sharks contain an agent in their cartilage, which inhibits cancer cells from forming new blood vessels needed to spread, but they have found to have cancerous tumors in their stomachs.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
So that means that every day humans are flushing thousands of trees down the toilet. Number 5. So how did you do in our little grammar quiz? Were you able to decipher which ones were proper parts of speech, or which ones would only be used by a complete ignoramus? Well, the truth is, all these words are real, and can be found in the dictionary, and have been for over 100 years. So next time you try to correct someone's grammar, you might want to think twice.
Le who, the her.
Number 6. Would you believe that Cleopatra was more of a modern-day woman than most think? Or that Vikings were a really horny bunch? We all picture Vikings wearing their famed horned helmets, but archaeologists have yet to find a single Viking helmet festooned with horns. Cleopatra lived around the time of 69 BC, a whopping 2,491 years after the construction of the Great Pyramid, but only 1,900 years before the moon landing in 1969. Number 7. And what did you think of our Disney trivia? Was it too easy? They can't ban selfie sticks in Disney parks. There's too many people wanting to do group photos. And the Toy Story characters dropping when someone yells Andy is coming would be a fun game for the kids of the park as well.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
But in actuality, you can't bring a selfie stick into the parks. Can you imagine people pulling those out on Splash Mountain or any other ride? There could be injuries, and not to mention just easily dropping your phone off. The staff doesn't want to have to go after those for you. And the Andy is Coming game is completely made up. It started as a meme and quickly evolved into a game, but that game is not played by Disney employees.
I want to play a game.
Number 8.
Eight, Bob.
Now here is an easy one. Everyone knows Mount Everest is the tallest mountain in the world. Climbing a summit is a huge achievement. Plus, they aren't going to leave the bodies of those who didn't make it. Well, hate to burst your bubble of what you thought to be true, but while Mount Everest is the highest point above sea level, it's not as tall as Mauna Kea in Hawaii. While it only stretches 13,000 feet above sea level, if you include the portion underwater, this mountain is a whopping 33,465 feet tall, which means that gruesome fact that Everest is covered with bodies is true.
Oh, man! Can you believe it?
It's too dangerous to remove most of them, and they're actually used as trail markers by some. Hey yeah, just take a left of the guy from the 80s in the yellow jacket. Number 9. Now, did you learn a shattering new fact about glass? Or did Einstein's mind wander into the possession of someone else? This one is another case of misconception. The false truth about glass being a slow liquid has been passed around a lot to explain why old glass has its odd look. But this is actually due to outdated manufacturing practices that created glass like that. The truth here is that a pathologist actually removed and stole Albert Einstein's brain, though he was later able to convince Einstein's son that it was for the benefit of science.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
Number 10. Humans actually have more than 5 senses, including the sense of balance, temperature, direction, and many more. Depending on who you talk to, most experts will say that humans have between 9 and 22 different senses, but you actually do change every particle in your body over the course of 7 years, so you are literally not the same person you were 7 years ago. So how did you do? Were you able to figure out what was fact and what was fiction? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit the like and subscribe button to see more videos just like this one. And we'll see you next time.